To be honest, I feel like this chapter was a love letter from Garou to his master Bang, Silver Fang. Bummer that Fang did not see that. He would have been very proud of Garou. So One Punch Man chapter 159 is out and it is called Blessing because our master monster Choppy Chop Garou has now reached the one chop karate chop technique. So now we got Saitama with the one punch and Garou has now the one chop. Battle of the century? Maybe, maybe not. And on the other hand, this proved to me that Garou will turn back to his master in some way and that they will be back together in good ways because he still has this respect to his master. The chapter starts off with Sweet Mask, unfortunately. I thought he would have been dead by now, but no, he's still alive, he's still kicking and his pants are ripped off and he is disgusted by the look of himself and he wants to beat off, kill that MF who ripped off his jeans. And it's like, oh, those were my favorite skinny jeans. Get the fuck out of here, man. Why the hell are you still alive? Why? I don't know if I was the only one, but I had to look twice at that one character next to Sweet Mask and then I realized that is Pickguard. And it's like, oh, so if you do not eat continuously, you shrink back to your normal human form, but he says he can't walk because he needs to eat firstly, and you can see him eating this disgusting beat off monster pieces there, and it's like, okay, we have a little glimpse into his form. He needs to eat so he can grow huge, big, fat, whatever, and then he's able to move around and fight. Okay, why not? Kinda reminded me of Big Mom when she skinned down because of the wedding cake at Whole Cake Island, remember that? So Sweet Mask is borrowing a piece of the clothing from Pickguard and he's like, hey, I will take you to safety now, but then he realizes, holy shit, this dude is eating that monster. Funny is how he himself is not realizing that this is one of the S-class heroes. And then, because he got disgusted by that, he's like, hey, you know what, you keep going on, bro, I piss off from here. What the fuck is this creep? I gotta go back? Yes, this is the way to do things, right? As a hero. We change back to the fight with Garou and the centipede, and we just are there where we left off in the last chapter, and you can see the centipede chasing its regeneration core, and that one shot was just so beautiful. You can see the length of the centipede with his 6,666 whatever arms, and he's chasing his core and he's trying to grab it, and then there is this beautiful shot. We get this pretty far away shot, this huge ass panorama shot panel, and you have to give props to Murata because his art style is best in shonen, we could say. It is amazing how he drew that and his team. I mean, like, wow, you could see the moon, you could see the centipede chasing his core, and on the moon you can even see the cracks, all those details, the lights on the earth itself. It looked stunning, okay? So Garou sees the centipede chasing the core and grabbing onto it, and he was just waiting on that moment. He's just sprinting upstairs. Well, let's say he jumped with huge force, and then he is on that core itself and he's just waiting. He sees the centipede monster and then he does it. He just jumps onto it and we get a flashback. And in the flashback it was pretty neat. This chapter was literally the pupil making his master proud, but without the master knowing of it. Garou comes in there with his karate chop, and then we go into flashback modus. We see the dojo of Bang, and he's like putting those ceramic plates on top of each other, which you do at martial arts. You need to break through them. You either do a chop attack with your hand like this, or you can use your fist alternatively. And this is the time where Garou first started in the dojo. And Bang is like, hey, you're the new kid, right? Okay, so I'm now your master, but beforehand I need to see what you can do. So break those ceramic plates. And then there's Sourface and he's like, alright, this is a job for the oldest pupil here. I'm the senior. I will show you how to do this. So step aside, kid. It's my turn now. I will show you the way how to chop those things, okay? And now let me do this. And he's trying to chop it, but his karate chop is just so bad he literally breaks his hand, or he has a huge ass injury. But at the same time, Silver Fang was like, hey, just wait a second, don't do it so harshly, you need to listen to me. What I wanted to say is those are made out of ceramic. And he flips out afterwards, after he punched it and he broke his head. He's like, how the hell are you supposed to break those things? No way, anyone could do that, yeah? Well, Garou steps in there, and then we can see 52, 53, I don't know if I counted right, but you can see those plates stocked on each other, and then there's Garou, and he's coming in there with his karate chop, and BAM! He chops it through, but he broke all of them, but one plate he did not break, which means he still had to train and had a way to go. But hey, Bang was very, very impressed. He was like, oh, look at this. We got a strong one here, right? So, you gotta perfect your technique, but you're going there, kid. Flashback over, we go back to the current time, and we can see Garou is coming in with his chop, and then he karate chops onto the head of that centipede monster. Once he's thinking to himself, he's like, I reached the epitome of martial arts. And then the centipede starts to break from the middle in half. And we see shots from Saitama, from King, he's carrying Tatsumaki and he's looking up, from the guys in the helicopter, the reporters, the journalists, they're even looking up, and it's like all of them realize, hey, what is this light up there? Something huge is happening there. Even Saitama notices it and he's like, oh hey, what is this? We get that perfect ass panel, or those panels following up, and the monster centipede is breaking in half, and it just follows down and it breaks in through the middle. We can see that perfect shot of Garou just standing there with his karate chop, and behind him the centipede monster is broken in half perfectly. That panel looked amazing. It was like, shit, man. We have Saitama, one punch, and then we have Garou, one karate chop. And he's like, I perfected my technique. I perfected my fist. And then the pupil is saying something sweet to honor his master, and he's like, hey old man, this time I broke them all. This time I managed to break them all. Look at me. And then the centipede falls down on him and he gets crushed. That did not happen. I was making that up. Pretty amazing chapter, which means on the other hand that maybe Garou could be now ready to take on in a sparring fight, let's say, not to death, against Saitama, and test his new abilities against Saitama. And let's see if he can put up a fight this time. Even if he will lose again, we know he will lose again, but this time he could be better. We don't know. So, I hope for the next chapters, and I hope this war is now completely over. I believe this is now it. These two were the last ones. We had even this cover page where Saitama was standing and he's like, on the waves are the strongest. We just see Saitama, yeah, he is the strongest, but I hope this whole underground war world of those monsters is now completely finished. This entire arc was just crazy. It was crazy, all those fights we got. And it's like, okay guys, now we could end this story arc and progress into the next story arc. I think this is now it. Or in the next chapter there comes even the next monster who is a billion times stronger this time. Or the centipede evolves into a hybrid form, I don't know. But my other side tells me it is over for now. So I hope Garou makes it back to his human form and he has those abilities of his monsterification form always available, so he can maybe transform into it. It would be nice if he could have that as a transformation. That would be pretty neat for him. We'll see how this will go on. It could be very well the case that this arc is now finished. It was a short chapter, but it was a fun chapter. It was a love letter from Garou to Bang, in my opinion, and it had some very cool ass panels from his new technique and so on. So now it's your turn. Please like, leave a comment, also subscribe. I would appreciate a lot. Thanks for watching. We guys catch up later for the next One Punch Man chapter. That would be in 2 weeks, I think. I forgot. Probably, yes. Until then, get hyped, because the arc is nearing its end, I think. So we'll see what happens next. Until then, catch you guys later.